Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snurdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna meet magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. You know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the goat, talking about animation cause you know. Odie she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she's taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snurdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snurdy, ooh. Black and Snurdy, yeah. Black and Snurdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snurdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together and shoot the shit. I'm Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snurds here on episode 116 of the Black and Snurdy podcast. How are you feeling today?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling
Might be a little bit low here.
I'm feeling dazed and confused.
Mm-hmm.
Because my throat hurts. My stomach's just getting better.
Yeah, you had an eventful weekend.
One thing that we have learned is that curry and mimosas do not
They
mix.
absolutely don't.
They
And
do not mix.
shame on you, Danny, for bullying us into the. I don't give a fuck if it's a Michelin starred restaurant. You don't go to fucking curry fucking places. Well, not curry places, because that sounds racist. You don't eat curry for brunch with mimosas, with an unlimited bunch of mimosas.
I think that it's not the curry as much as it was not. I needed like heavier brunch food.
Yeah, like
If it had been like, I don't know,
some starch or something.
like if I could have gotten pancakes with some kind of like
Home fries.
but like a curry home fry with eggs that had some sort of like, special seasoning. I think that would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a curry steak and eggs.
Yeah.
Sort of situation. But noodles and rice with spicy meats.
They just don't mix.
Not for mimosas.
Not with mimosas. Yeah.
For brunch time. I think my body just was not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And really apologize again to you, Uber driver, because that was
unfortunate.
That wasn't, you know what it was?
I wasn't gonna even say anything about that, but
I'm not gonna say what happened. Just
he knows what.
He knows.
Well, sadly, he knows what happened.
I think it was also.
It was a nice car too.
Was it? I don't know. It kind of looked kind of.
It didn't look raggedy. I mean, the back seat was nice.
Yeah. Well, it was very. What the issue with the car was, it was very bumpy. I don't know what was going on with the roads, but it felt like I could feel every single bump that I was like jostled. And then next thing you know, sorry to that man.
Sorry to that food.
Yeah, because it was delicious. I would like to go back there at non-brunch times and eat there without mimosas. Just like a regular meal with not like a breakfast theme. Like if I had, what would have been fine?
Rangoon. That's the name of the place.
A rice with a fried egg,
Mm-hmm.
with like a sausage or something like that. Like that could have been the curry situation. But the what I got just.
I still feel like rice and breakfast don't mix.
Oh no, it does. When I make the fried egg with rice and the sausage.
When have you made that?
I made that for you many times, and I make it for myself a lot for breakfast because I love. Ever since I went to Thailand, I've been loving rice with a fried egg and some kind of meat.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious, perfect breakfast meal. It's got all the right pieces. But that Rangoon was delicious. I will say what I had was delicious. It just I needed more of a breakfasty vibe.
Yeah.
Even a savory pancake would have been fine.
Yeah.
Because it would have gotten
It would have
carbs.
soaked up the mimosa that
Yeah.
was inside
You know what it
your
was?
stomach.
Honestly,
Nothing soaked your shit up.
You know what? I wonder if it wasn't so much the mimosas as much as it was the edible that I did not realize was 4 edibles.
Well, you had 2.
I thought okay. Well, either way, I had
Because apparently there was 4 in there, and I had 2 and you had 2.
no. I think I took more because remember Keith was like, "That's too many."
Yeah.
Sorry to my body for. And I had been out the night before. I think what the compounded it was. Tamara and I went out the night before. We had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Sultan Room in Bushwick on Star Street. Very fun, Afrobeats, dancing the whole night long, drinking, all those things. And then the next day, mere hours later, because I got home at like, I don't even know, was it
8?
Okay. Wait, was it 8? Yeah, it was light out. I got home at 8, and then a few hours later, I was back at it, back at it again.
Yeah, it's almost as if your body is trying to tell you that you're too old for this shit.
No, I think my body was just trying to tell me that.
So no lessons were learned.
No, the lessons were learned. No curry and mimosas.
Mm-hmm. And what else?
To ask for someone to hand me the edible instead of taking it myself because I took the wrong amount.
Sure.
And they were very tiny, so I wasn't thinking that was going to happen. But yeah, I was really, edibles. The thing is, they sneak up on you, and I don't like being crossfaded.
Yeah,
it makes me feel very weird. I get very hot, as you saw.
Mm-hmm.
And I just need to lay down. If I had been in my own home, that would have been different because I could have just went to lay down in the bed. Although Keith had asked me if I wanted to take a walk before leaving. I think I should have taken a walk first and gotten some air and then got in the car. But I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
I
what
feel like
been.
whatever was destined to happen happened.
It's true. Yes, true. Because I was drinking
So
water.
who otherwise that would have probably ended up happening if we had stayed and left at 7 like your plan was. Who knows what would have ended up happening to that poor bathroom.
But we're here. I'm here. I made it. I'm drinking some tea because fun fact, curry, delicious going down, not amazing coming back up.
No, it is not. And I gotta imagine that's a very particular burn.
It is. I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling the burn.
Well,
Are you okay?
I don't know. Shouldn't be doing that on mic anyway. But I had so far my weekend was pretty chill.
Okay, good. I'm glad you had a chill time.
I mean, I rested. I rested like I wanted to on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Got some friendship action going on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then just chilled in for the rest of the night. Honestly, it was
honestly, this was the best situation for you.
I benefited from
because if I had my way, I would have been out there until...
Yeah, you would have been out there for the longest fucking time. I would have been rolling my eyes. My social battery would have been completely depleted into the negative. I think we have to recognize that we both have different social batteries.
Yeah. I recognize. That's why I told you we could leave at 7.
Okay. Well, it was other reasons that was making it so that because you were too high. That's why you were like, let's leave at 7. And then it became apparent like 7's not gonna come. We need to leave immediately. There is no coming back. There is no staying until 7.
But also,
like, no offense, but what kind of day party? What kind of party that says it starts at what? What they said it started at noon?
3. It was like 3 o'clock, I think.
No, but here's the thing. They said it started like at noon or at 1.
Yeah.
We didn't get there until
5.
Till like 5.
Yeah. And then it was on Caribbean time. Because what time did you say it started looking like there were people there? Midnight?
Maybe midnight.
Because I think that's when I woke up.
Because I'm sure that's how long Danny's ass was there.
Well, Good for y'all. I'm
She
glad
had reasons to stay as long as she did.
was spending time with her friends.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But appreciate it. I would like to go to another bacchanal with y'all, like after it started, like several hours.
Yeah, when there's actually people there.
Yeah.
To play the games. All right, are you ready to get into the various messes that exist?
All right.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop topics.
So I think we should kick it off with someone who we have talked about here a few times, who is used to being in the media, making media, and terrible wigs. And one would say terrible movies and TV shows, but that are very popular and make lots of money. He's a media mogul and a champion for I don't know, what would you say he's a champion
Black
for?
actors. Using black actors.
I guess using them well is another question. But Tyler Perry, he has got into some hot water yet again because he was on Keke Palmer's podcast, which is called Baby, This is Keke Palmer. And he was talking about his films, and he had a lot to say about the criticism of it that was this has been going viral because people didn't really find it what he had to say. Some folks didn't like it. Do you want to play the footage?
Sure.
Yeah, but what? No. You got to drown all of that out, because if you let somebody talk you out of a place that God has put you in, you are going to find yourself in hell. I know for a fact that what I'm doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, because for everyone who is a critic, I have thousands of used to be emails from people saying, this changed my life. Oh my God, you know me. Oh my God, you saw me. How did you know this about my life, my family? So that is what is important to me. We're talking a large portion of my fans who are disenfranchised, who cannot get in the Volvo and go to therapy on the weekend. So you've got this highbrow Negro who is all up in the air with his nose up looking at everything. And then you got people like where I come from and me who are grinders, who really know what it's like, whose mothers and were caregivers for white kids and were maids and housekeepers and all of these beauticians that don't discount these people and say that their story don't matter. Who are you to be able to say which black story is important or should be told? Get out of here with that bullshit.
Yes.
Now, is this just straight up criticism for how bad his movie was, his most recent movie?
I think that people are talking about the most recent one, but all of them, because Divorce in Black is the most recent, with Corey Hardick and Megan Good playing a married couple where she decides to leave him. He goes crazy. Apparently, the first 15 minutes of the movie, somebody took a corpse out of the casket and they brought it out the church for some odd reason. And I want to know if anybody has ever experienced. I have been to a good amount of funerals, and black funerals mainly. I don't think I've ever been to if I've been to a white funeral, I can't remember.
Side note. How many open casket funerals have you been to versus closed casket funerals?
I would say maybe
I feel like the ones on my dad's sides are open casket, while the ones on my mom's side have been closed.
I mean, I would say it's been half and half. My nana and my great nana were cremated.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to go.
Mrs. Gibbs and Mr. Gibbs had, I want to say, an open casket, if I remember.
Who are these people?
Those were my Nana and Pop's best friends who lived across the street. So they were like our play grandparents.
Oh, okay, gotcha. They call me Mr. Gibbs.
So I went to theirs when I was little. I'm trying to think. For the most part, most of them have been, I would say, half and half if they've had like an actual body. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you, there's been drama at funerals, but not one time do I know or have been told of a time where anybody pulled the body out the casket.
I've seen people cry over the body.
Cry over it. Try to jump into the casket. Yeah. Try to jump into the grave.
Yeah.
Fight I've seen those things. I have seen dancing and twerking and gyrating. I have literally never seen.
You've seen dancing and twerking and gyrating?
Not at my personal ones, but the ones I've seen online of people taking videos.
Okay.
Funerals that they've been at.
I've
seen a lot of things.
people to twerk around my
I
urn.
feel like I don't mind the people dancing and you better put on Knuck of your
Look
butt,
back at it.
money, something like. But let's get it. I want it to be a celebration of life. But I just think that one, it's very interesting to me that Tyler Perry, who is a billionaire with his own lot in Atlanta and all this money, is calling anybody highbrow Negroes. Like, what year is this that you're calling me a highbrow Negro for saying, can you get some other writers in the room? Can you get some new wigs? And can you maybe stop having
maybe like take a couple passes on the because his movies seem to be very much like, or his movies and shows are very much like the first draft. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Maybe take a second or a third pass on that draft.
But also the thing is, when he talks about the fact that a lot of Black people have grown up seeing their mothers and grandmothers as, caregivers, maids, housekeepers, beauticians, etc. Sure. But neither of my grandparents went to college, and I believe they graduated high school, but they definitely had elevated interest when it came to media. Like the generation of people going to the August Wilson plays and Robeson plays and having a wide range of Black art that was not just shucking and jiving and telling a variety of our stories in a variety of ways that were not this. Nobody's telling you not to make a Medea or, The Family That Prays, which is actually, I do really like the movie The Family That Prays. I thought that was good. The slap heard around the world.
I think it was fine. As far as like
compared to his other ones, definitely top 3.
Ew, you put it in the top 3?
Because I would say Why Would I Get Married was top 1. Definitely, because I just remember being in the theater and being
is
like,
Jill Scott in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, then fine. That might be
one.
Well, I have a very obvious fondness for Daddy's Little Girls.
Okay, that one was terrible.
And I think that was that
was comparatively
of all the movies
the dark-skinned man wasn't the villain.
The dark-skinned man wasn't the villain, and
the dark-skinned black
it's Idris Elba. Like, you can't go wrong with Idris
Elba and Gabrielle Union.
Yes.
But then The Family That Prays, I thought it had a great script. I won't say great, but comparatively to his other films, a much better script. You had a lot of great actors and actresses in there, and I thought it was like intriguing. He wasn't in it, so that elevated it. From what I can recall, the wigs were not terrible. From what I can recall,
what was the one? Because Taraji P. Henson has been in multiple television.
Yeah, she was in the one with the boat, Severance or Separation. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, and
she was in the one with the guy.
I Could Do Bad All by Myself, right?
Yes, that one.
That one is terrible.
The one
they're both terrible, but that one was especially terrible because there's this one scene where, like, I guess the church, throughout the entire movie, she, I guess, used to sing in the church choir or whatever, and they make it a point that like the church was a big institution in her life, right? But you never see her go to church. Right, because for whatever reason she had a falling out with the church, right? Then finally, and I'll never forget this, they're doing the Sunday choir at the church. They zoom out to the exterior to show that the church is right next to her fucking house. And she starts breaking down singing because she can hear them singing through like across the street and shit like that. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous of a fucking movie. I really wish I could. I want to find where that is playing
so you can hate watch it.
so I could hate watch it.
But the movie that everybody was hating was.
Well, you're gonna be
Acrimony.
up tonight packing, so maybe I'll put it on in the background.
So I would say the last movie that I watched in theaters that I actually bought a ticket to was Temptation. That's the one with.
Oh, you saw that?
I did. Me and Asia saw it. It's the one with Brandy and oh goodness, what is his name? I like this actor. I want to say he went to. Was he in The Game or did he go to How? Oh no, yeah, Lance Gross was in that. He went to Howard.
Oh, MGM Plus. Well, oh no, it's also on Tubi. It's of course it's on Tubi.
And the plot of Temptation was Lance Gross and Brandy are childhood sweethearts. They get married. They move to the big city from the country. He's like a pharmacist or something. Somehow, oh wait, not Brandy. Sorry, she was in the movie, but it was Journey Smollett from
Judy or Journey?
Journey, but the one that was in Lovecraft.
Yeah. They
yeah,
got
Journey.
her too.
She was Lance Gross's girlfriend turned wife. They moved to the big city. She gets.
I used to have a crush on her as a kid.
Yeah, of course.
Because wasn't she in like that? Was she in the Ruby Bridges movie, or she was in some sort of like.
She was in Eve's Bayou.
She was in Eve's Bayou, but she was in another movie where it's just like, I'm a black kid, I'm a white kid, and it's civil rights, and we're gonna be friends type of movie.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The Color of Friendship.
That's
what it was.
That was not her in The Color of Friendship.
Oh, she wasn't in
The
Color of
That was
Friendship?
another light skinned girl, but that wasn't her.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about, but it wasn't her. Either way, Journey Smollett gets tempted by this attractive, wealthy, dark skinned man who's giving her all this attention and coming after her. She finally gives in. Long story short, due to her transgressions, she ends up contracting HIV from this man. Anyway, Journey Smollett's character, she gets HIV. That is her recompense for infidelity and leaving her husband for this man. And that's what I said. You know what? I'm done. I can't do it anymore because it is consistently terrible. You're being consistently just refusing.
Look, he makes bad art. Like,
he does.
Can we just?
And
It's okay that he makes bad art, and I
just don't try to tell me it's good art and then I should like it just because I'm black and just because I may have come from a hood adjacent place, or that I have like both my grandmother and my great grandmother cleaned houses. Plenty of them were doing quote unquote menial labor. And growing up poor, were grinders on both sides of my family. And I could tell you none of these things did not interest them. Because I remember the first time I watched Tyler Perry was going down to South Carolina for a family reunion. And while we were on the family bus driving down there, they had those on the cassette tape, of course. And
of course they had them on cassette tapes.
And I remember being like, okay, like it was when the plays, and I will say the plays were actually, even though they were definitely low budget off-Broadway plays, they were much more entertaining to me than these movies, because it was the plays are supposed to be extra dramatic and
I just don't think
silly.
I just don't think the plays translate well to theater.
They don't, but
to movie theaters.
They could if he would actually get proper writers and not do all the writing himself. The perfect depiction of Tyler Perry was the season 4
Mr.
Atlanta.
Deeds?
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry.
Oh wait, Mr. Deeds?
Mr. Deeds was the movie where Tyler Perry plays himself, right?
Yeah,
no, wait. I'm
thinking
thinking of the Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
But
there was one that Tyler Perry had where
he wasn't Medea and he was just by himself.
And he was like
a lawyer, right?
He's a wealthy businessman. His mother was what's her name? From the Cosby Show, Howard alumni,
Felicia Rashad.
And he falls in love with like the maid at his job. And
all right, I'm looking up his acting credentials.
I'm trying to remember.
He was in the Paw Patrol movie?
Well, that's terrible.
Yeah, it is. He played Gus.
Damn, I'm gonna find this because this was it was terrible as well, but it wasn't comparatively to his other movies. It wasn't as terrible. But
we have to watch Boo. Medea Boo.
You know what? I actually would enjoy watching Boo because I know it's supposed to be ridiculous.
Good Deeds. That's
Good
what I knew. It had deeds in the title.
Good Deeds. Yes.
I think that was fine.
That was fine.
It
was
fine. The best that Tyler Perry can do is fine, like a very staggered fine.
Yeah. It was fine. Yeah, because this is the one where it's Tyler Perry is the main character. He's engaged to Gabrielle Union's character, but he falls for Thandie Newton's character, who is a maid at his job, and it causes a whole bunch of uproar.
Yeah.
But I will just say that I don't think that you can be calling other people highbrow when you're a billionaire and getting mad at them for just asking you to have different plots. Like maybe the dark-skinned man's not always, the villain. Maybe you give light-skinned men better cornrow wigs. Maybe the black woman doesn't have to take on the sins of whatever black women hurt you in your life. I don't know. But
maybe actually give Kelly Rowland a decent sex scene.
Oh my god, we watched that
terrible
movie.
Terrible. What was it called?
Damn it.
It was called some bullshit.
Mea Culpa.
Mea Culpa, yeah.
Mea Culpa.
Because her name was Mea.
Yes.
Get it?
And I mean, Trevante Rhodes was in it. That was the best part. Looking at him and Kelly Rowland, she definitely told him, I'm taking my own wigs to the movie. Don't even ask me. But I just felt like, how do you have these two beautiful people and make a film that is so boring? And there wasn't even a lot of sex in there.
There really wasn't.
It was one sex scene and then that one random ass scene.
We actually searched sexy movies and that one popped up on Netflix and there was one sex scene.
And there was one sex scene between them, and then also when they randomly went to the basement of his house,
some weird ass
opened
orgy,
up into a sex party,
and the guy is like, "You want to fuck?"
I feel like he doesn't do
Hey,
good,
can I play with your girl?
Good editing in creating
what do you want me to do?
One movement to another, because where are these? You're just jumping. But either way, good luck to you, Tyler Perry. You're never going to lose any money because you're bamboozling people to watching your movies. And you're going to say that whoever doesn't like it is like a coon or something. So I guess here we are, just get some new writers, and also he's apparently very union busting. And one of the reasons why nobody works on his films, or he has a great big turnover.
Mm-hmm.
People have been coming at him about that for a while. So I just feel like the amount of money that you make, he could have so many artists, actors, writers, producers, etc. in Atlanta, across the country and the world, working on his movies, giving them a leg up. Because one thing about him, I will say, he has resurrected careers of Black people who have been kind of lost to time, and I do appreciate that. I just wish he was.
Yeah, I'm sure Megan Good's getting a good payday out of this.
I mean, unfortunately, yes, she is, of course. Megan Good.
Her boyfriend's not making any movies anytime soon.
The fact that he went from being one of the top actors.
He was the it actor.
To having to be at the film premiere of a Tyler Perry movie. And I know that grinds his gears
it
so
absolutely
hard.
Does.
So hard.
Well, hey, he got his Coretta Scott King. He wanted one, so now he has one.
She's sticking
and
by
she's
him.
holding him down.
She is sticking by him. I just want to know is what is going to happen.
We never talked about that hug that
the Michael Ealy,
the Michael Ealy hug.
Yeah. So I saw that and I was both cackling, but I was also worried because I'm like, even though they tried to make this narrative that he completely bypassed whatever his name is, Jonathan Majors, and didn't say hi to him or anything, and just picked her up and all that. But when you watch the full video, he said hi to him, they were hugging it up.
They clearly were hugging it up.
And then he hugged Megan. But I was like, knowing abusers and insecure men, something like this going viral puts her in danger. Because if he even if nothing happened and she could say, "Oh, baby, we're right there," like look and see, but just the narrative that he's getting sunned on by, of course, beautiful ass Michael Ealy, who's married himself, but still, I just felt like that's very dangerous for her. Even though I want Jonathan Majors to be embarrassed at every juncture of his life for the rest of his life, I don't want her to be hurt by him, even if I think she's making a terrible decision by trying to.
They seem to be happy though.
I feel like it's this is one of the best.
Because Megan Good could leave. Like, she's a woman with her own agency. Like,
Of
she could
course.
leave if the relationship was untoward in any way, shape, or form. It could just be that maybe they're good together. Like, that could be a case as well.
I mean, possibly. It is very possible, but also plenty of women who are in terrible toxic relationships do not leave, regardless of whether they have agency or money or not. And who knows? Maybe, like, I don't know. Who knows? But she just got out of a terrible divorce and has been healing and all that. And I'm just annoyed that as she has gotten herself back into the limelight, where she's to me, I always thought she was a great actress.
Yeah, Megan Good, more like Megan Gray.
My favorite movies.
Cousin Skeeter.
I mean, she to me is one of those Black actresses who was from a young age so beautiful, so talented, knowing that she got the short end of the stick by being hypersexualized by the media and by Hollywood. Who knows what things she had to endure on these various sets. And I felt like she was finally getting her break to be the free her she could be. And now
was she in the Nick Cannon movie?
Which Nick Cannon movie?
She wasn't in Love Don't Cost a Thing, right?
That was Christina Milian. She might have been. It's very possible she was in a Nick Cannon movie.
Okay, I get the sense that her and Nick Cannon worked together for some reason.
No, that would make sense. I mean, they were Nickelodeon Black kids.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. They would have some movie or TV show together, or someone might have been like, "Oh, are they dating?" or something like that. So who knows? I think that I would love for her to have better and to be able to just be her beautiful self and not latching on to a man to rehabilitate his career, because it's never worth it. But
it's never worth it.
In other movie news, Marvel has made a big announcement. So this week they were at Comic-Con, right?
San Diego
Comic-Con.
That's the big one.
That's the huge one. I would love to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
I actually would. That's too many people.
It would
There's
be a great
too much
to do a podcast.
And not only is it too many people, but like the Comic-Cons of yesteryear, and this is me getting on my old man shouting at clouds soapbox, but the Comic-Cons of yesteryear, when it was true enthusiasts, like, were some of the like really coolest and best, because like it wasn't a corporate shilling.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like these diehard fans and these diehard creators coming and putting out information to those who actually cared about the properties that they were putting out. Now it just feels like it just doesn't feel special anymore. It doesn't feel unique. It just feels like, well, here's a rollout of the next Marvel phase, like, or yeah, that's basically it. Like, here's the rollout. Like, Disney, we have all the content. Here's all the content. Here's a sneak peek of all the content. Here, you want some Brave New World? Guess what? Here he is, Anthony Mackie, or whatever his fucking name is, who plays Falcon. What's his name?
That's Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I thought I was getting him mixed up with the character from The Shield. His name was
Shill.
also Mackie something.
Oh yes. Was that the lead character? No, that was one that.
No, that was the lead character. His
Mackie?
name was Mackie. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that to me, like Comic Cons, the way that they've branched out. To me, I think that it's great that we now have like a Blurred Con and a Dream Con. We have like a lot more. It's more diverse.
I appreciate that we have more cons. Sure.
And I do think that once something gets really big, it's hard to keep the corporate capitalist away from it. Because like one of my best friends, she loves Star Wars. She would used to be like a Jedi in the Halloween parade in the city. And for her, like she will never buy any kind of Star Wars merch. It doesn't matter if she likes, because she's like, this is just what do you call corporate chilling?
Yeah, corporate chilling.
It's just a capitalistic thing, and it goes against the true nature of what Star Wars was, which I understand, because you see that with like Harry Potter, Twilight, any of the big these big what are they called, entities?
Yeah.
That once they get too big, you go there, and then they have, they no longer have those mom and pops as sponsors. It's like McDonald's and BP.
You know what I was thinking? There should be a rap genre called Shill music. That then they could like give to all these corporations who shill out all the content, Shill music.
Shill music. All right.
AKA
what would be
the name of the podcast.
Shill music. But at the Comic-Con,
Mickey Mouse.
How long have you been waiting to do that?
We got everything. We got everything. Oh, you want Mickey Mouse? Oh, you want Pixar? Oh, you want Marvel? Oh, you want Star Wars? Oh, Nat Geo? Oh, we got everything. Doctor Who? We got everything. Fox? We got everything.
What is that noise that you're doing?
What?
Is that like a drill noise?
Yeah, it's like a drill noise.
But it's more shrill.
Yeah, it is. If it was drill, it would be lowered in pitch. Like
anyway.
Oh, and it's Chewbacca.
Can you play the video, please?
Okay, yeah, sure. So Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Dr. Doom in the next Avengers movie, Doomsday.
So someone tweeted Derek L. Cunningham, MA, at Derek Cott on Twitter. It says that they're adapting the Anthony Stark Dr. Doom variant adaptation from one of the what is this one? Sorry, the comic book Iron Man Demon in Armor. Have you read that?
No, I've never read that. But honestly,
I don't know.
I'm not really excited. Like, I haven't been excited about anything Marvel in a very long time. Like, look, listen. After that was phase 3 with Infinity War. After Infinity War, the quality of all the Marvel properties took a huge hit. Like, I think the only good thing to come out of that era was Loki. And Loki season 1 and season 2 was really. You didn't finish season 2?
I think we got, because we were watching it and then something happened and then I didn't finish the last few episodes.
Yeah, it's really good. And so yeah, like Loki, I did kind of like aspects of Ms. Marvel. But by and large, we were just inundated with content. Oh, and the new X-Men show, the animated X-Men show, X-Men 97. is really good as well.
I haven't watched that one. Is that one more like adult leaning?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Because it's a sequel to the original X-Men series. And the original X-Men series, like, I didn't watch it as a kid.
Really?
I've been going back and watching it. And it handles like mature topics and subjects, and it's a long storyline. You know,
I
like
used to love that one.
I really like it. I wish I had watched it, but I was more of a Batman the animated series kind of person.
Yeah, we used to watch because they used to come on during the Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday mornings. Yeah,
we used to watch.
It was on Fox.
Yeah.
While it would come on at the same time as Batman the animated series, which was on WB.
Right,
so I had to choose, and I always chose Batman.
Well, some other critiques folks have been having on the timeline, like one of the main critiques I've seen is just that like Stark already is gone and he died. We mourned him already.
This seems like a cash grab.
Yeah, we don't need him back. And then like they should have found like a new actor or whatever to play Dr. Doom. But
he probably could have been played by Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, anybody could have done it. Really. And then another one that I saw was I didn't know that, but apparently the original Dr. Doom is of Romani heritage, and they said that this is basically like erasing him from there. And then of course, you know, the racism popped out, and you know, folks were saying negative things about Romani people.
So in the comics, Doom comes from a European country called Latveria, which is specific to the MCU, like a made up location basically, but it's like Easter. It's supposed to be like
Romani coded.
Yeah,
like
I guess it's
the same
I
way,
guess
like
it's
Wakanda,
Romani coded.
You're not gonna find a white person to play Kang or not Kang,
but this isn't the first time
Black Panther.
This isn't the first time that they race swapped somebody in the Mandarin. No, not Mandalorian. The Mandarin was Tony is one of the biggest like villains in the MCU and one of Iron Man's biggest villains. They basically, you know, said no, we're not gonna do the Mandarin. They did it again with the not Charlize Theron. The Doctor Strange. Who was the woman who played the Ancient One?
The
bald.
The real thin one.
Was it Tilda Swinton?
I think it's Tilda Swinton.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, it's Tilda Swinton because she's like super androgynous.
Yes. And that's supposed to be like an Asian person, or an Asian character, I should say.
I mean, I think that it definitely.
This isn't the first time.
It's not the first time.
This isn't the first time. It's
and I can understand
a
why
long
people
history of it.
Are upset because it's different when you're having like if you're race swapping a like white character to be a person of color, that's different than if you're swapping a person of like a marginalized group to be white, because there's already plenty of white people doing things. No, Cillian Murphy is not Romani. Was that why you said Cillian Murphy?
No, I just said he could have been Dr. Doom just because they were great together in the Oppenheimer movie.
Oh, okay.
So I was just thinking,
I thought
like,
you were saying that because he was in Peaky Blinders, and in Peaky Blinders he was supposed to be a Romani.
Oh no, I wasn't
Irish
even thinking of
heritage.
it that way.
And I didn't find out until after that. I was watching the show that he's not actually Romani, which did come out, did get some critique, but you know, Hollywood's gonna do whatever they want at this point. Like they don't care. They want people to come. They want people to spend money. You know what? This makes sense now because yesterday someone tweeted that Marvel just became the WWE overnight. Because I think it was in reference to that time where they were gonna have The Rock.
The Rock come up against Roman for WrestleMania.
And switched it out because of the fans.
And nobody wanted. Everybody wanted it, but nobody wanted it at the expense of Cody Rhodes and telling his story.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the whatever will be so rah-rah that they won't
No, I don't think Marvel can capture the magic that they had. Like,
It's gonna. I mean,
they had listen, Marvel had a good run.
Yeah.
Now I think they could just focus on just putting out like decent movies that will probably make $1 billion at the box office, but boy oh boy, don't expect like quality. You know what I mean? Like, they said they're gonna cut back on the quantity and focus on the quality, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Get back to the casting couch. And
Speaking of that topic,
so the vice president nominee JD Vance I didn't realize you
yeah, I did.
So JD Vance and the Trump team, I'm sure, are having an extremely bad few weeks ever since. First of all, I'm really sure that Trump's team is very upset they didn't pick a Black, brown woman, somebody to be their VP, because now that Kamala is running for president, they don't have their minority vote locked in. But then things have just gotten worse. So this past week, these rumors were coming out about J.D. Vance's memoir from 2016 called Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and a culture in crisis. And there was a tweet that was going around. Do you have the tweet? About allegedly J.D. Vance admitting to fucking his couch.
Folks, J.D. Vance did fuck his couch. It was right there in the book all along, and it was definitely more than once. Okay, I'm going to start at like where the sentence is.
Okay.
Years later, I looked at my wedding's party of 6 groomsmen and realized that every single one of them had, like me, fucked a couch. All of us had found ourselves beheld by the eroticism of 2 cushions side by side with that lush, inviting valley between. We all knew how to respect one too, with a rubber glove and any lubricant you had on hand. All of us were lonely at some point, pushed away by the women in our lives. It was our outlet and an unspoken yet open secret. To want for a couch is to be and to lay with one as one does. It is a rite of passage into the chambers of manhood.
Now that was on Snoop's. Found out that tweet was edited, or the what is the word? You take the screenshot down.
Okay.
That the passage had been edited and circulated. But what was funny about that was on the 24th of July, the Associated Press had published an article with the headline, "No, J.D. Vance did not have sex with the couch." Then on the 25th, The Verge and some other publications reported AP had removed the article, and AP reported the live article page to read, "The story did not go through our standard editing process and has been removed." And I think the funniest thing about it is, even if he did not fuck a couch, which honestly,
look,
I will
he fucked
say,
the couch. It's okay. Like, people fuck couches.
I will say, knowing all of the people that I know and that we've talked about, when you're young and you're discovering your bodies and all that, I have heard a variety of very interesting ways that people have used to pleasure themselves.
Yeah. Stick a hole in a watermelon or get a glove full of jelly.
Why would that sounds messy?
A glove?
A glove full of jelly?
A glove full of jelly, yeah. Like one of those hand gloves.
I'm aware of what a glove
Obviously,
is.
a rubber glove, and then you put the jelly inside the glove.
How many times did you put jelly inside a glove?
No comment, but it's not that hard.
Listen, there's so many different ways.
Hey.
So we're not going to kink shame him. We're just going to laugh at him hysterically over this, and I bet you there's probably some sort of Pornhub parody of JD Vance fucking a couch, or someone's done a deep fake or something that it's probably going around. But I just think it's funny that even if he didn't do it, the fact that he will have to answer questions about it, like this is now something that's going to be coming up. And I love it because you want to know why? Because the fucking asshole. Play that other footage of him saying bullshit, because that is why I can't even have any empathy for him, because he's a fucking douchebag.
Let's give votes to all children in this country, but let's give control over those votes to the parents of those children. When you go to the polls in this country as a parent, you should have more power. You should have more of an ability to speak your voice in our democratic republic than people who don't have kids. Let's face the consequences and the reality. If you don't have as much of an investment in the future of this country, maybe you shouldn't get nearly the same voice. Now,
should children have a say in
politics? Absolutely not.
I don't think it's absolutely not. I think that
because kids would just basically, the only information that kids are kids are getting the information from their parents.
Yes.
So their parents' politics is basically what the kids'
of
politics.
Of course, yes.
Very rarely is it that, and when we say kid, what are we talking about?
Well, I'm
how young are we
about
talking?
Like a 5-year-old, but I will say, over the course of the last decade, we have seen kids from 12 and up talking about climate change,
Greta Thunberg,
gun control,
those
Palestine. Like, kids are not idiots. When I was a child, I was not an idiot. I followed my politics were connected to my parents, but also my parents were ones who showed us political things. We were watching the news, we were reading articles, we were having critical thinking. So it's not to say that I don't think that children should be voting, but I do think that children should be able to talk about, with politicians and the people that are governing them and their parents and whoever else, the ways that certain things are impacting them, and be able to have a say, because they are people and they are a part of the democracy. And the idea that someone should not be able to vote because they don't have children is idiotic. There's plenty of people
that's very stupid
who do not have children but want children. There's people who don't want children at all but want to take care of other people's children.
Sure.
There's many ways to be in the village of child rearing, and that has nothing to do about whether or not you have birthed one or created one. You can still be an active member of the society, because there are plenty of people who have had children who are literally the stupidest people on earth, clearly, because JD Vance is standing right there. So, he's an idiot and is completely ruining. I mean, no, he's not ruining. He's just being who he is. But I feel like he is definitely causing Trump to have some, misgivings about his about his being there, appointing him, because Trump has now decided he's not going to be having any more debates. Okay, so Trump put out a statement on the 25th, where his campaign put out a statement. Given the continued political chaos surrounding crooked Joe Biden and the Democrat Party, general election debate details cannot be finalized until Democrats formally decide on their nominee. There is a strong sense by many in the Democrat Party, namely Barack Hussein Obama, that Kamala Harris is a Marxist fraud who cannot beat President Trump, and they are still holding out for someone, quote unquote, better. Therefore, it would be inappropriate to schedule things with Harris, because Democrats very well could still change their minds, which, it's a very Trump thing to do. To say stupid things. The bringing up Barack Hussein Obama was definitely.
They always say his name in such with such a stank on it.
They always say his full name when they want to try and
with the especially like with the Hussein part having like an extra bit of stank on it.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. I mean, the election always brings out weird people. And I don't know what's going on, but Judge Joe Brown, if you remember Judge Joe Brown, he was one of the many faces that we used to watch when we were homesick with our parents or with our grandparents or babysitters or whatever. And people thought of him as a lovable grandpa. And over the years, he has been kind of ridiculous and full of shenanigans. But the other day, he tweeted, "No person who does not have children should be president of the United States. To lack natural heirs is to lack a sufficient stake in the future of the nation to guide it with the manifest dedication required," which I don't even think he didn't. I don't think he knew what he was trying to say with the manifest dedication. What is that? Like manifest destiny? I don't know what he was trying to say there, but it was wrong. And then one of the people I follow on Twitter, Solomon Missouri, he retweeted it and said, Nutty as a squirrel. And Judge Joe Brown replied to him, "Fuck off. Are you a parent?" And then it just kept going worse and getting more and more, ridiculous after that. I just feel like, Judge Joe Brown, can you retire and shut up? Like, what are you even doing?
I thought he was retired. I thought he was a retired judge.
I feel like he is, but he has had a lot of shenanigans over the years that have not brought any sort of good tidings to his name. So I honestly don't really think about anything he says. It's just weird to watch people that you spent time as a kid like admiring and enjoying.
You admired Joe Brown?
Not like admired, but I thought he was like a cute old grandpa. It was an old black man on TV.
He was entertaining as a judge, but
yeah, I thought he was like a cute little old grandpa. Like I never thought of him as someone that was gonna be weird. And but now over the years,
not all olds, but a good portion of olds. Like once they start getting into that old, they get weird. They turn weird, and especially if they have money.
If they have money,
then of course they turn weird.
It goes downhill. Fast.
Yeah.
Well, we had some other stuff, but I think we're gonna table those for next week.
Sure.
But watch the Olympics. Simone Biles is crushing it per usual. The opening ceremony was really cool. Watch that. It also got a lot of ire from evangelical Christians because they don't know what art is. But yeah, check it out, watch it, see how things are going.
Where are we as far as our medal count?
Right now we are at America so far has 3 gold, 6 silver, 3 bronze.
Okay, so we have the most gold. I mean, not gold. We have the most medals.
We have the most medals right now. The most gold, it looks like Japan has most gold. It's funny because America did not score any medal in the sniper shooting, which you would think. I think China won that one.
I mean,
actually,
now that I think about it, now it makes sense that we're not gold medalists.
That's why they're always just spraying,
just clipping the ears.
They're not even. And I still don't believe he was clipped. I still believe someone cut him or it was glass. I don't believe it.
I don't know.
Because his whole ear would be off.
Yeah, exactly.
With an assault rifle, it just nicked your ear. Looks like you had a piercing from Claire's. Like, what kind of fucking bullshit is that? Get out of here.
Claire's. Yeah.
Shonda Rhimes was, at least her, when that story came out with Fitz got shot, it was an actual shooting. And it made sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, watch out for our next episode coming up.
Yes, we will be back with another episode. It just depends. It depends on when this goes out and when the next one can be recorded, because somebody will be taking a quick trip. Well, not a quick trip. An extended trip. Yeah.
I'll be gone for a week.
Yes. So. All right. Until then, take it easy, keep it sleazy, and we will see you soon with more of the Black and Snurdy podcast.
Take off the Judge Joe Brown.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email
at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD THATSOD.E, and on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Snurdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember,
bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.